On the year now for Gabby Leach, and back to the top of the lineup for Savia Morgan. Morgan hit that fly ball out to left field her first time Oklahoma shifted. They have shifted again with 3 infielders over on the left side, 2 infielders on the right side, and only 2 outfielders. Nobody home out in right field.
And Morgan showing bunt, 2 pitches in a row. So many different options here for the Volunteers. Runner in scoring position, Morgan, who she can bunt, she can lace a double. I mean, so many different things here for Morgan as she shows slap.
Easy play for Sam Landry. Gabby Leach moves on down the line to third base. And that's the first out in the second inning.
Huge out for Landry, and you can see Morgan. Ground ball back to the pitcher, but she moved her runner. Opportunity here for fielder to drive her in. Sacrifice fly, squeeze. So many different options here for the Volunteers.
Kenzie Fiedler hit one to the shortstop. Gabby Garcia, her first time up. The approach of Kenzie Fiedler is one thing Karen Weekly really likes about her. The way that she steps into the box. She's got a presence about her. 1-1 the count. This one sails out of play. We've got overcast skies tonight. We talked about the wind whipping out of Love's Field at about 35 miles per hour at times. Hopefully that will die off just a little bit. If you're a pitcher, as you were, DJ.
Work down. That's a really nice spot by Landry. Just as I say, work down. Hitting that corner low and away. One of the first plus counts we have seen for Landry here early in this ball game, 1-2.
Caught by the first baseman Sanders, and scrambling back to third base goes Leach. 2 down in the inning. Base hit on the infield. It was essentially a swinging bunt, and she advanced all the way around to third. It's left stranded there. Bases left loaded by the Lady Volunteers. And now we've got Karen Weekly walking down the line to chat with our home plate umpire, Tatum Stolte. Landry pops the glove, misses a little bit outside, and the count is even at 1-1 on Taylor Panel. Taylor Panel's really gotten into the student side of being a player, talking a lot with Greg Snyder's in his first season, orchestrating hitting and offense at Tennessee. A little more film study, talking about opposing pitchers.
It just shows the maturity, right? Panel, a sophomore, shows such growth from a freshman season. And again, becoming a student of the game. When you stop learning, when you stop trying to find new ways to get better, it's time to hang up the cleats, right? So you've got to love the sophomore wanting to find that growth.
In the respect for each other. Hard not to have great respect throughout the softball world for both of these head coaches, DJ.
Absolutely, and you said it, 2 of the best to ever do it, but 2 women who have really not just built 2 tremendous programs, but have helped grow the sport and have helped just college softball in general become what it is today. You think of Patty Gasso, Karen Weekly, and what they have done just in general for the sport of softball. All the wins are just icing on the cake.
Ella Parker leads things out for Oklahoma. Parker, then Sydney Sanders, and Elana Aguayane. 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Sooners had 2 reach base in the first, but left them both stranded. Ella Parker lifts one to center field, and Fiedler takes care of that one. What a boost it has to be for Sage Margetko to see that crooked number that her offense produced out there. Have a little bit of confidence. You can maybe breathe a little easier with 2 runs on the board.
Yeah, pitch with a lead. And Margetko has done a very good job in this game so far. Still early, still a lot of game left, but you can see her settling in and settling in quickly. Went straight at Ella Parker on the inner half, doing the same thing here to Sid Sanders.
1-1 to Sydney Sanders. Senior from San Marcos, California. Transferred from Arizona State after 1 year there. Her 3rd season as a Sooner. Over 200 career games that she has played. And so she's active in a lot of the big categories. 51 career home runs, 6th amongst active players, and 140 walks that she's drawn. That's 4th amongst all active players. Lifts this one foul down the left field line. Is there room over there? There is plenty of it, in fact, for Morgan. Wind is going to hold that thing up. You know, down there, that part of the field, it's past where the roof is, so there's nothing to block the wind from just keeping that ball fair.
And Morgan did a really good job of hanging with that. We said the wind might be a little bit of a factor with the long ball potentially, right? But that wind blew that foul ball back nearly into play, but at least where Morgan had a play on it, and she did a really good job of hanging with it and playing that wind. 2 big outs for Margetko here in the 2nd.
As she faces Agbayani. Alana Agbayani, junior from Hawaii. Three and 0 the count.
As a transfer, Agbayani has really done a good job of just coming in to this program and being a spark. Everything she does, and seeing it right there as she breaks up the 1-2-3 inning and draws a 4-pitch walk, but that's what she does. It's consistently finding a way on base and finding a way to get into scoring position.
Agbayani, the BYU transfer, added 424 there a season ago. So here is Isabella Emmerling, the Oklahoma catcher. She also a transfer from North Carolina, where she hit 14 home runs as a sophomore. In fact, she went over 100 career runs batted in Oklahoma's win at Wichita State this week. Have another little meeting at the mound, the circle. Megan Rhodes Smith out for a conversation. That's a couple of times she's been out to chat with Margetko.
Yeah, and we've seen it on both sides. We've seen Coach Rocha and Coach Gasso out to speak to Landry as well. So so many meetings so far in this game, you can kind of just see both staffs trying to keep their pitchers composed. And on top of that as well, the chess game at play a little bit. You've got 2 tremendous offenses, 2 pitchers going head to head, just trying to keep everything in line and keep pitchers in the strike zone.
So 2-0 now to Emmerling after the walk to Agbayani.
This is the 5th straight ball thrown by Margetko here with 2 outs.
A off-speed pitch that she's gotten a couple of hitters with.
And that's that off-speed, throwing it 2-0. Again, 5 pitches in a row that were outside the zone, and then being able to pull that string with an off-speed pitch. There are so few pitchers in the country that can throw their changeup on a dime like that in any count.
2-2 the count now to Isabella Emmerling.
Is make in-game adjustments and respond.
Easy pick up there for Sanders to tack the bag at first and retire Gibson to begin the 3rd. So Sam Landry, you know, people want to grumble about the transfer portal in softball, in all sports really. But the simple fact is it works, and it works a lot. Both these teams are once again an example of it. It's worked out here with her transferring from Louisiana.
Hate it or love it, that is the landscape of NCAA sports now, and that's just where we're at. And I think one thing, if you're looking at it as a whole, is players want to go where their best fit is. Players want to, in Oklahoma's case, I think there have been players who come here and are going, I want to be a part of one of those national championship teams. Sam Landry is no different, but I think one thing the transfer portal does is it just really shakes up what each of these teams look like each year.
Sanders is just able to hang on. That ball was actually over the wall and into the camera well down there. She was able to retrieve it, and two gone.
Sid Sanders, big grin, hanging to that thought of transfers and how quickly.
That ball will scoot on through off the bat of Nealer into center field. A 2-out single for the Tennessee shortstop.
The second time here in this ball game that Tennessee has gotten something going with 2 outs.
And so here is Ella Dodge. She was hit by a pitch and came in to score on Doyle's home run back in the second. So there's kind of shortstop, second base, these spots, Nealer and Dodge. Destiny Rodriguez has played some second base as well. And it's been about solidifying that defense. And Karen Weekly's not been super happy with it. Said they just need to arrive at the best combination. That is a line drive. Agbayani, and the inning's over. 2-0 Tennessee.
When you get to the point of, well, they'll be in postseason. Now, how far are they going to go, and are they going to win the whole thing?
2013, they squared off in the National Championship Series. Oklahoma winning that one in 2 games. Another conversation here is Sophia Nugent out to visit with Sage Marjetko. Sophia Nugent, former Oklahoma Sooner, as we've talked about, but did not play at Loves Field. She played at Marina Hines Field, was on Oklahoma's 2 national title teams, but helping her teammates get ready for what you face when you come to Norman, when you play against this Oklahoma program.
Yeah, and you know, we can talk all day about the atmosphere at Loves Field, but you know, Marita Hines packed house as well, and just the environment that you get from this fan base and some of the things to expect coming out of that Sooner dugout as well. And Sophia Nugent probably has the best scouting report as far as things behind the scenes as anybody.
Hannah Core in for the Sooners, the number 9 batter, and she draws a walk. A Hannah Core fan and a Kiss fan. Wonder if Hannah Core is a fan of the rock band Kiss, or just has a Kiss fan who's a Core fan.
A lot of questions, a lot of investigating.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get to the bottom of that. The search for answers. Back to the top of the order, and Abigail Dayton, who walked her first time up.
Marjetko having a little bit of an issue finding the zone here in the third.
You see anything different about her? And right now we're going to have Megan Rhodes-Smith back out for a conversation.
Yeah, and I talked earlier about how well she was doing being in the strike zone, but also her misses were close misses. We've seen some pitches here as of late. Again, 5 straight balls here in the third, and the last one in the dirt. So again, just settling back in, getting underneath the ball, and not trying to do too much. Pitching with a lead into this point. Let your defense work for you. When the Sooners have put the ball in play, the Lady Vols defense has shined. So again, throwing to contact and not trying to do too much. Let your pitches work.
Calmly delivers a strike over the outer half. 1-1 to count here on Abigail Dayton. Not unusual for Oklahoma to use multiple players in the leadoff spot. This one is popped up. It evades the glove of Marjetko and of the shortstop Nealer, and everybody will be safe. maybe not what Abigail touched it.
I think there was a glove that was put on it by Margetko.
Okay. Well, they've got hit up on the board. You keep your scorebook in ink. You're writing in ink. So if they change it, you'll have to scribble out over it. But for now, it's a base hit. And here's Nelly McEnroe-Marinas, who struck out looking her first time. That is a bold play by you, by the way, writing your scorebook in ink. It's more of a marker even.
Yeah, flare pins.
Yeah.
Once you go flare pin, you never go back. That pitch on the outer half, just catching the corner, and that's a part of the zone that has been a little bit inconsistent here tonight on both sides of the ball of whether or not that pitch is going to be a call to strike. But Margetko ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes early. And another good location for Margetko. She's done such a great job of working left and right. Part of her scouting report, again, she can work in all directions, and we've seen it. And she's had success in all directions, but back in the zone here and ahead on McEnroe-Marinas.
Swing and a miss. A strikeout for the second time. Margetko's able to fan Nelly McEnroe-Marinas.
Uncharacteristic for McEnroe-Marinas, and chasing a pitch in the dirt. Margetko doing a tremendous job of expanding the zone.
Cassidy Pickering had a base hit her first time up. Two and 0 the count. Tennessee electing to not pitch the 2-time SEC Pitcher of the Year, Carlin Perkins, in the opener. We were all prepared to talk about 78.2 miles per hour, a record in softball that she threw on Monday in the 6th inning of that game against Arkansas. In fact, that's the first thing we asked Patty Gasso, what do you expect in Tennessee? And she shouted 78.2 miles per hour.
It was the pitch heard around the world.
It was.
And rightfully so.
Absolutely. That one got a piece of Cassidy Pickering.
Everything about that pitch, Pickering, 2-0 count, jumping on that pitch that she was hunting. But Sophia Nugent going out the pitch before, and we've seen her be very active.
There's strike 2 on the outside edge to Pickering. Pickering had 4 walks and a home run in that slugfest at Wichita State the other night. 4 walks and a home run.
Not a stat line you see often.
You do not. She's riding a 7-game hit streak, make it 8 after the hit earlier tonight, and the bases are now loaded. And Gabby Garcia is going to get a crack for Oklahoma.
The freshman, an opportunity. She's been in so many times in this season already. It has come up clutch, but the Sooners' opportunity to tie this game up or take the lead, and have left some runners on base so far in this ball game.
Infield in for the Lady Volunteers. And Gabby Garcia rounded out to the shortstop, Laura Mealer, her first time. That's going to be a pitch clock violation against Tennessee. And 1 ball, I believe I saw the signal there from Tatum Stolte.
It was a pitch clock violation as Coach Weekly, unhappy 70s and sometimes even the upper 70s. That is a huge rhythm disruptor. And opening up with the heat to start.
1 away in the inning. So there was the pitch clock violation.
And what a great job by the freshman. Not trying to do too much and taking that velocity to the opposite side of the field and playing the game. Play the game. Doesn't matter how you get it done. Find a way to chip away at that lead and take care of business with runners in scoring position.
So runners at first and second, and now 2 down here in the 3rd, and Ella Parker is the batter. She flied out to Kenzie Fiedler, the center fielder, her first time. Ella Parker's been battling very painful shin splints. she continues to deal with. And in fact, she wears more the turf shoes in the dugout, and then when she's fourth up in an inning, she'll go to the cleats and get ready for her at bat, DJ, but just tough to deal with. Hits this one toward left center field. Morgan over to catch it, and the inning's over. So Pickens comes from the bullpen, gets the final 2 outs, but the Sooners also get on the board. It is 2-1. Lady Volunteers on top, moving to the 4th.